Welcome to Inspire and Move, the show that inspires you to create, connect, and grow. I'm going to bring you meaningful conversations, aha moments, and all the motivation you need to up-level every part of your life. I'm Ali Aruda, founder of Inspire and Move, and your personal hype girl. I've gone from fashion school to celebrity stylist to corporate marketing to brick and mortar entrepreneurship with my husband, each time learning incredible lessons how to pivot, reimagine, and implement the steps to become successful. I am passionate about inspiring others to live their best life, a life of joy. We have the power to design a life that we love because life is too short not to. The best part is that you weren't meant to do this alone. If you feel like you were meant for more, let me ride shotgun with you, and together, let's get you to where you want to go. Hello, you guys. Welcome back to the Inspire and Move podcast. I'm your host, Ali Aruda, and we are hanging out today, just me and you. We are here for a little quickie solo episode, and it is all about 5 hacks to reset your mind and body that you can do every day. And I wanted to share things that I currently do every day, because how am I going to dish out advice to you if it's not something that I'm doing or have done myself? And so I wanted to share 5 little hacks, 5 little tips, things that you can add into your routine, maybe if you're not yet doing these. And these are going to help really reset you and make you feel better. Like, these are all feel-good hacks that you can add. They are not super challenging. They are not super time-consuming, most of them, and they're also not super expensive. So let's get to it, shall we? Hack number 1, drink water. This is not an original hack. I am not the first person telling you this. This is something that we all need, and we could probably all stand to improve on, because last I checked, too much water doesn't do anything bad for you. I mean, maybe it'll make you a little full, but having water that is in your daily routine every single day is so important. Not to mention all of the benefits for your health, for your fitness journey, for your skin. And I mean, like, your facial skin, but also your body and like your moisture levels and your hair. So drink your water. And if you are not someone that loves water, maybe you need to outsource your water intake and add something in. You guys know that I am a big, passionate consumer of Glossy. I'm a really proud investor in Glossy. Glossy is a skin routine that you can drink. It's a light lemon flavor, so it's a lovely addition to your water, and it is also full of amazing for you ingredients, like a high-quality probiotic, prickly pear, hyaluronic acid, magnesium, zinc, all things that have their own benefits individually, but then you put them all together into Glossy, and you have that once a day, twice a day. I know some of us can get crazy. We can have 3 a day. It's an amazing product to have when you travel, just to ensure that you're not bloated and you feel your best. I love having mine in the morning and in the evening. So I kind of either alternate between AM and PM, or I'll have 2. I also, kind of talking about like AM water consumption, Matt and I have been so diligent, honestly, you guys, for like 8 years, that we have a room temperature lemon water with Himalayan salt every morning. It balances your pH levels, and it just really sets the tone for the day. That is the first thing that we consume in the morning when we come downstairs. I also follow mine with another glass of water, kind of getting the last remnants of the lemon juice, of the salt, but ensuring that I'm getting a lot of hydration before I consume coffee, because that is the next thing I consume. But that is what we do every single day. And I'm actually so proud of us that we have been doing this, going strong, for like 8 years. And we are also pretty diligent of keeping this routine up while we travel. It might not be the exact same thing. It might be like a lemon wedge, a lemon slice from a hotel or a resort, and salt, or at the very least just the lemon juice and water. But it is something that is not difficult to implement when you travel and you are out of your daily at-home routine. But these are things that you can just make little notes of and see if you can add this into your routine at home, let alone before you hit the road and you go traveling. But having something like a Glossy, or I know there's a lot of other amazing electrolyte mixes at your disposal. If you are not someone that really loves to consume water and you need a little help in that department, find a great product that works for you, that you like, and that you can have on hand to ensure that you are getting ample hydration in the day. When it comes to finding that product, though, just make sure it's not, full of sugars or ingredients that you can't pronounce, and it's something that is going to support you and your health and your daily habits and routines in a really beautiful way. I'll include the link in my show notes as well, though. You guys know that I always take care of you with discount codes when I have them. And I, of course, have one for Glossy. So I'll make sure that is in the show notes if that's something that you guys want to try. I'm a big lover of the product. So is Matt, and obviously the brand. But I also just love water. I really love drinking water. We have a great water filtration system at the gym. We have a water filtration system at home. So this is something, you guys, just to please make sure that is a number one priority in your daily routine. Actually, when another little fun fact here about water, and then we're going to get to hack two. While I am on the floor at Benchmark training one-on-one clients, I actually try to challenge myself to have one water bottle per client. And that's kind of a way that I measure. I also have a really dramatic extra like gallon, I think it's actually 4-gallon water bottle that I bring out sometimes. It's like a 10-pound weight. It's so heavy, but it's the one that has all the lines on it. I can link that as well in my show notes. It's an Amazon find. But if you are not someone who does well with tracking your water, something like this super extra water bottle could be exactly what you need. And it is going to tell you if you are on schedule, if you're behind schedule, but it's a really great hack of its own to drink more water. So hack 1, drink water, drink lots of water. Hack number 2, we roll right into this one so beautifully, daily movement. And it's so funny, before I hit record, I was telling Matt how I'm like, I feel kind of like weird, kind of antsy. I know I'm in a podcast and I have some things I want to do today, but I realized I haven't really moved my body yet today. I taught a strength and conditioning class at our gym, Benchmark Fitness, this morning, and it has been raining all day. So I also haven't gone for a walk, a dog walk, anything like that. I've committed to a rest day for today. So I'm not going to be lifting any weights or doing anything in terms of, high intensity exercise, conditioning, but I would love to go for like a nice long walk. And this rain's kind of killing my vibe, but it is so funny that it all kind of came together as I was kind of sitting down with my notes here for the podcast. I feel antsy because I've not moved my body yet. And I know that daily movement is huge for me. It has been a big part of my story, a big part of my journey coming out of my, grief of losing my brother 20 years ago, my dad 3 years ago. That's not something new that, maybe if you're new to the Inspiring Move podcast, you haven't heard this, but I do talk about it a lot in my content on social as well as here on the show. But movement has been a really big part of my grief and trauma and growth journey. I know that I need movement in my life every day for my mental health, my emotional health, and my physical health, for my own physical goals. And the routine that I'm following right now, I know you guys kind of like to know, peel back the curtains, so I'll bring you along for the ride. I'm currently lifting heavy 3 days a week. I have 3 strength training workouts that are with 2 of our amazing trainers at Benchmark. And I love having that one-on-one training and really pushing myself with pushing and pulling heavy weights and challenging myself with balance and stability work, core and conditioning. I really like all of that. And that is really working for me right now. And I love seeing my progress and crushing goals in that department. I also love having 2 cardio days. I know not everyone loves cardio, so you need to kind of find what works for you. And I'm alternating my cardio days between just straight running, a combination of running and walking. I love a treadmill for that because I can play with speeds and intervals. And I also love just a straight walk, but it's not a straight walk. It's interval walk. So it's power walks, regular walks, high intensity, hills, intervals. So I will, again, do that on a treadmill because I can use the variety of speed and incline intervals. And so that's kind of what I'm doing for my cardio days. And then I love doing our strength and conditioning class at Benchmark if I'm not teaching it. And I also really look forward to a full rest day. And the only thing I do is a nice long walk with Matt and the dogs when it's not raining, ideally. But daily movement, of course, has so many benefits, but it's also what it does for us emotionally and mentally and just kind of clearing your mind. I actually had a client come in the other day, and her name's Lauren. We love Lauren. And she came in and she warned me. She's like, I'm in the worst mood, maybe one of the worst moods of all times. And, that's kind of actually a challenge. I love when clients share that because, you're just kind of being transparent. You're communicating that you're clearly not high vibe and feeling your best. But we actually didn't really speak of it for her entire workout. We just kind of chatted about other things. We had some battle ropes in there, maybe some med ball slams, kind of being able to take out any aggression. And by the end of it, I kind of actually forgot that she was in a bad mood. And so then I asked her after her workout, she went and got a coffee, and came back to hit our recovery corner at the gym. And I asked her, hey, are you still in a bad mood? Totally forgot you said like you were in such a bad mood. And all was fine. So it is truly amazing the endorphins that we get out of exercise. So this is something to just remember, guys. If you are in a bad mood, see if you can even add in just 20 minutes of movement. And it might be, depending on where you are, what your day looks like, maybe you just need to get outside for a walk around the block. If you are between back-to-back Zoom calls, coaching clients, meetings, whatever it may be, just get out, move your body. Get outside, get in fresh air. Hopefully it's sunny versus rain, or it's beautiful fall colors. Maybe there's like this crisp freshness in the air. Maybe you take your dog for a walk. Those types of things that you can add in if it's not, a full workout or training schedule, then just get something on the calendar in that particular day to shift your mood, because it is truly amazing what those exercise endorphins can do for us. And I will say this probably to the day I die. I'm so passionate about movement and what it does for us mentally, physically, and emotionally that it is, I know for me, it's a daily non-negotiable. And it's one of the first things I believe that we can change to shift our mood and get us out of a funk. So you want to talk, daily reset for, either your mind or your body, daily movement, that's your bestie. Number 3, gratitude. This is another one. You're in a bad mood, and I know it's probably so frustrating. You might even be in a bad mood right now listening to this, and I'm telling you to practice gratitude, and you're probably telling me right back, Allie, why don't you go stick it where the sun don't shine? But I'm telling you, gratitude is one of the first things that we can do to reframe a challenging situation, an annoying conversation, someone that gets on your nerves. Maybe you're in your car listening to this right now, and someone cuts in front of you and cuts you off. You can totally say a word that I'm not going to say right now, but then you just need to have a little reframe. And I find myself saying this so often. Maybe it's kind of the age where, I've certainly experienced my share of loss, and I have some friends that are going through their own grief journey. And it's just that daily reminder that life is so short and it's so precious. So we want to show up as best we can. And we're all human though. Like, it's not going to be every day that's going to be daisies and sunflowers. But we want to do the best that we can. And practicing gratitude is such a powerful reframe for exactly that. It's amazing. I just looked at my phone clock and it's angel numbers. I love that as I'm talking about gratitude and seeing angel numbers for all my woo-woo girls out there and guys. But even just 3 things that you're grateful for every day. Matt and I have a practice that we adopted from Chris and Lori Harder called the Power 9. It's 3 things that you're grateful for, 3 things that you're excited about, and 3 things you're manifesting. If that feels like too much for you, you're listening to this podcast and you're like, whoa, that's 9 things. No, start with 3 gratitudes and say them out loud, say them to yourself, say them to your partner, say them to a colleague. We actually love writing ours down, especially with what we're excited about and what we're manifesting. It's kind of like it's a journal for us as husband and wife and business partners, but it's also so fun to read out those things that we're manifesting and when they come to fruition. But that's manifesting is another topic. I really just want to talk about gratitude. And you've probably heard me talk about this again on my show or on social, that I had this life-changing experience last spring to go on do a service trip, a humanitarian trip with my mom in the Baja coast of Mexico. And it was so life-changing, more so after the fact. When I was there, I was in it and I was, just kind of adapting to where I was sleeping and the foods that I was eating and the routine I was keeping for the week / a very different routine and like no routine at all. But I was there for a very substantial purpose. But coming out of it months later, now over a year later, I feel so much gratitude for so many other areas of my life. I have gratitude for having a washer and dryer, that I can wash our sheets every week. And I mean, I could wash them every day if I wanted to. I just don't feel like making the bed every day like that. But, things that are so easy for us to take for granted. The fact that many of us here listening, we have access to clean water and can go buy fresh fruit every week. Things that, don't necessarily need to be so grand. That I'm grateful I get to go to Mexico on vacation. An amazing thing to be grateful for. But when you can really think, so digging down deep and being very intentional with practicing gratitude every day, 3 things, you guys. That's what I'm going to challenge you to. Just think of 3 things that you're grateful for every day. You want accountability partners and someone to tell them to? Send me a DM. I would love to know what you're grateful for. Post it on social. I think having this movement of gratitude is so powerful and creates nothing but goodness and kindness and positivity in our world and for the relationships that we keep. So, hack number 3, practicing daily gratitude. It's a beautiful transition into hack number 4, joy moments. I actually have used this term before with some friends called a joy list. And I think I've actually talked about it on the show as well. That why don't you, maybe not right now, but make a note of this, to open the notes folder on your phone and make a joy list. Write down things that bring you joy. And one step further, maybe you share that with your life partner, your best friend, your business partner, because it is really wonderful to have access to that for the person that you care about or you spend a lot of time with. If they're in a bad mood, you could tap into their joy list and see, like, you know what? They love matcha. They're having a bad day. I'm going to bring them a matcha. And just, it's something that will bring them joy. And it can reframe. And maybe you bring them a matcha and they tell you 3 things they're grateful for. And holy smokes, look at that reframe. Maybe you go for a walk as well. That's hack 2, 3, and 4 all in one. But joy moments. Some of the things for me that are joy moments: morning coffee outside in our cabana, listening to the birds chirp, coffee in a mug. All of my early morning trainer guys and girls, that we have coffee on the go at the gym or in the car. But we have mornings, a few mornings a week, where Matt and I wear our robes. We sit outside in our backyard, listen to the birds chirp. Right now, it's actually dark when we have our coffee outside, and then it turns into light. And it's actually a really cool experience to be outside, like pitch black. Maybe we have a fire going, and then we see the sun come up and shine for the day. And it's really beautiful. And I genuinely look forward to that, especially because it's not every morning for us. It's maybe 4 mornings a week. And we have a lot of love and joy for those quiet coffee mornings. So that's on my joy list. I love my dogs so much, and I love petting my dogs and just like snuggling with them. So for any of you that have a dog or a cat or an animal that brings you joy, I feel like that is naturally on our joy list. A hug. You get people in your life or in your community that just give great hugs. And I know there are some amazing facts I could insert here as well. I don't have them at this current moment, but the power of a good hug, just feeling that connection to someone that loves you, that supports you, that cares about you. A good hug, big joy moment. I actually just lit a new candle earlier this afternoon. How fun is that? Or maybe you go pick out a candle, you smell it, you love the packaging, you treat yourself to a candle. So now we're getting into things that maybe there is a dollar amount and you spend $14 on a new candle, maybe 48, depending on where you buy your candles. But lighting that match or getting that lighter, and you're just lighting it for the first time, and then you're going to sit and either have a cup of tea or a bath or read your book, talk to the person that you love, really romanticizing some of these little things that, again, could be so easy to take for granted. And you can really have this opportunity to weave in the gratitude of things like going to buy a new candle and then sharing it with the person that you love. You can bang out like a bunch of gratitudes right there. And I think I already gave the example of, a nice matcha. I love coffee. After this, I'm going to make Matt and I a coffee I bought this like amazing pistachio milk. I'm going to make us some coffees, maybe iced, maybe hot, TBD, and read our books together. And how nice is that to do on a Saturday afternoon? It's raining outside, basically waiting for the rain to stop so I can go get my movement in. But again, I wanted to bring you along with like some real life hacks that I do, that we do, because it's coming from experience. It's their authentic shares. And I love sharing these things with you guys. So number 4, joy moments. And number 5, consume positive content. I'm also not the first person to tell you that, but this is something I think that we can stand to have as a little bit of a reminder on a repeat basis, especially this day and age where there is so many apps in terms of social media. Are you on TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, ManyChat? There's all these things that are coming out. And what it is that we are consuming, you want it to be positive, because it's so easy to consume some content and then immediately feel like garbage, that you're less than, you're not enough. Or, if it's gym content that doesn't make you feel good, or, with your body, your confidence, all those things. But also our mindset that, there are accounts that I've seen before that people are maybe sharing things that they're going through a really hard time. And maybe it's triggering for me with emotions of someone I've lost or something that I've gone through. So you want to be very mindful of what it is that you are consuming. I've said this before on the show and on social. I'm in very much of a growth season, momentum season right now. So I want to feel fired up with what I'm consuming. I want to watch people doing things that are even bigger than me, that they're even more successful than me. What are they doing to like crush their goals and chase their dreams? That will keep me in alignment for what I'm working on right now. So being very aware of the type of content you're consuming, thinking of, what books are you reading, whether it's visual or audible, what podcasts are you consuming, what are you consuming on social media, but also who are you spending your time around? Who are those people and what are the conversations that they are having? What are they doing? What places are you in? I had this wonderful coffee date after class this morning. We were having some conversations around this, and even like gyms. You'll probably hear me use this analogy all the time on the show that, gyms are a wonderful reflection of values that we care about. That these are all people in the gym. They want to work out. They want to better themselves, move the needle on their fitness, on their mindset, their daily habits and rituals, and what it is that they're working for. Our gym, Benchmark Fitness, we're super community focused. So you're new to the area, you need some friends, we got you. Come to our classes, come to our social. It is all about having people feel like just welcomed into community and be connected and inspired and motivated. All of my events, my monthly Girlfriends Walk events that are both in Canada and the US, are all about community and connection. I actually have one coming up on October 2nd in Burlington and October 17th in Oakville. So that was actually a very timely moment for me to mention that to you guys. We'll link that in the show notes as well. But being around people that support you and that inspire you and help you or will encourage you to move the needle on what it is that you are working on. And I just think that this is so important. Matt and I have been big believers of this over the last few years, putting ourselves in rooms like masterminds and networking, high level networking experiences that we invest a lot of dollars to be in these rooms and be around these people. And sometimes you do have to spend money to do that. And if you are hearing that for the first time, sorry to burst your bubble on that, but sometimes that is required because you want to be around people and be in places that are doing what you want to do. And that is such a needle mover. And Matt says it so often when we have this conversation on the podcast. It's a shortcut. Get in rooms with people that are doing what you want to do, that are more successful than you. And I hear that on the shows that I listen to. And it's a message that I'm here for listening to over and over again, because it's easy for us to kind of get back into the rut with people that maybe they just want to go for drinks every weekend at like 2 p.m. And that's not what you want to do, because that's not aligned with your vision and your goals. Matt and I say this all the time, that we thrive with happy hour. We're like a 5 to 7, and then we can come home and have a dinner that makes us feel good. We can go to bed at a time that makes us feel good, but we can still have this beautiful balance of being able to be social and connected with people that we love, but also have those boundaries and respect for things that make us feel good. So this is something that I think also stands for us to have a consistent reminder, and let this be a reminder for you here. Hack number 5 of just being really mindful of what you consume, consuming that positive content between people, places, social media, books, and podcasts. And with that said, you guys, thank you so much for listening to the Inspire and Move podcast. I am so grateful for you guys and to have you in the Inspire and Move community, whether you come to the Inspire and Move events like the Girlfriends Walk, Sweat and Sip, Women Inspiring Women, all of these events that I'm so passionate about creating, curating, and bringing to you, that is all about that, community and connection, but also here on the podcast. Maybe you live in the US, maybe you live in Australia, in England. I am grateful for all of you. And if I have not said it enough, thank you so much for listening and for being here. If you have a few minutes and you would be ever so kind to leave a little rating, a review, I would be extra grateful for that. I'm really excited to grow this show as we've turned 1. We are in year 2 and gearing up for some more amazing interviews, in-person interviews, which I really, really love. And I'm always open for feedback. If there's someone you want to hear on the show, there's topics that you love and you want to hear on these episodes, just shoot me a DM. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much. And wherever you are, I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, weekend. Sending lots of love, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you so much for listening. If you love this episode, it would mean the world to me if you took 30 seconds and shared this on social media, send it to a friend, or leave a 5-star review. There is power in community, and I am so grateful to have you part of mine.